It's because of you. My drawings are gone from 2006. It's all because of you. But you're just gonna keep doing it over and over again. Just gonna overflood on accident, supposedly. Wait a second. Hold up. I still need to Oh, wait a sec. Wait. What am I doing? I forgot to add the soap. Let's start the video, shall we? Hello everybody, Mr. Polar Jack here today doing another unmarveling of my characters. Wow, that is the first time I ever addressed my series as, so yeah, I know what you guys are saying. What's up with the weird, way you schedule your videos? Yeah, I know, but it's in order to give me time to work on the other videos, you know? So that I'm not forced to get these things out there. I mean, shoot, you guys get this every week, so you shouldn't really have a problem with it, you know? So coming up with a third character was a bit difficult for me. I could never come up with a third design no matter how hard I tried. Maurice never always looked like this. I didn't come up with this design until he made his debut on YouTube. So yes, his first introduction to my channel, his design was completely changed. But for the good reasons. So of course having a third character to correspond with Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls, or even Knuckles, you know, to have that three trio kind of look, I was trying my best not to make this character look like Buttercup. Because nowadays, it certainly looks like that kind of thing. But in order to come up with some sort of base for what this character was supposed to look like, this is the design that I really hate. I mean, the design looks so forced, but hey, at least Maurice looks black and everything, that's a step up, I guess. Whenever I would draw my characters in a group of 3, it would always remind me of the Powerpuff Girls. So, with Maurice's design, I changed it so it wouldn't look like a weird version of Buttercup anymore. So I said to myself, hey, what other kind of character do I like the most? I like Sonic. Sonic? So one day, I drew my character Rontu with Sonic hair, and I said, hey, that would make an awesome third character. And so I did it. Although, keep in mind, his name was changed to Maurice in his debut on YouTube. At first, his name was Speedy. I stopped calling him that after seeing that there was a character named Speedy on the Looney Tunes. I mean, Speedy himself is not really recognizable in the Looney Tunes family tree. Despite the people that actually knew the character, it would add confusion to the name. So whenever I would draw my characters next to each other, it wouldn't look like the Powerpuff Girls. Rather, it would look like a Bubbles, Blossom, and Sonic sort of team-up. To me, his design looked way too much like Sonic, especially with the green eyes. So I changed his hair back to the color black, and figured out a certain pattern for his hair that I took from a previous other character that was a girl version of him, but I couldn't come up with any other kind of hair design, so this one worked instead. And if you're wondering, no, I don't use this character anymore, but it just looks like a girl version of Maurice. And since this was the time that I started to really like One Piece, I gave him the same outfit as Luffy, just with a green vest, and a few alterations. Like, did you know that the buttons are on the wrong side? I mean, at first that was a mistake, but honestly, just kind of stuck. This is when I would start to compare my characters to the previous drawings that I've done, and just look at how far I've come. I mean, heck, they all basically wore the same thing. I'm glad that I actually started to change their outfits a bit. I don't know, to me, it just makes them look more like individuals. The design. Wow, okay. Sucks, that's stupid. Okay, that's alright. I'm skipping through this part because, honestly, his previous designs looked like crap. It was basically a Sonic Dies, however you say it, it was basically Rontu with a Sonic design. I'm honestly glad I changed it, cause it just looks so fan character, you know? And plus, I'll give my other opinions on what I think about it at the end of this video. And plus, if you want to know what I think about, like, you know, the whole character design of this sort of look, then look at my past videos. Because it's gonna sound a little redundant talking about nearly the same thing. I mean, heck, Maurice's hair in a Sonic look is literally Rontu's hair just switched around. And yes, there was even a classic and modern version of this look. But god dang, does a classic version look like classic Sonic or what? And yes, his trademark colors were blue and green, but now I honestly just don't know. Now for his personality. Looking at the character and comparing him to his cousins, he kinda looks like the screwball, you know? That character that always gets into trouble. But surprisingly, you'd be wrong if you guessed that. I mean, sure, he's a bit of a rascal, but he knows how to get away with it, and he doesn't really constantly get into that much trouble. He's sort of like an older brother to Rontu and Madison, and is a great role model. Sometimes. Also, he's really crazy, and he's pretty confident in his skills. Although this is not to say that he's perfect in any way, shape, or form. It's not easy being the eldest cousin. Things that Rontu would have to worry about, Maurice alongside Madison would have to figure it out. You could think of Rontu as a kid thinking that his sister and his cousin have everything under control, but they're just as flawed as he is. Yes, Madison is younger than Rontu, but she's dealt with a lot of hardship in her life than Rontu has. But Maurice is the older cousin that knows the world a lot better than these two, and has gone hell and back. But he's not just a great cousin to Rontu and Madison, supporting them in the roughest times. Aside from that, Maurice has barely anybody to look up to that's around him. So who better to motivate himself than himself? It's not like he's asking for attention, he just doesn't get it from anyone besides his cousins. But that still doesn't affect him. As long as he knows that he's being a good cousin to Rontu and Madison, he'll never get depressed. On to powers. What kind of powers does he have? Like, what kind of freaking powers should I give him, huh? What kind of powers does he have? Like, what's his superpower? Can he fly? Well, he's got like a healing factor. Oh my God, he's freaking immortal. Okay, well, what's his powers? He's just really good at fighting, and he can use the power of chi. You happy? Honestly, I was thinking quite hard about what kind of powers I should give him. Since he is the eldest cousin out of these two, you'd think that he'd have like a really overpowered sort of superpower, but no, I'm not gonna do that. That's too damn predictable, honestly. I think just going the route of making him physically stronger, but not having powers, is the way to go.
His healing factor is somewhat comparable to Spider-Man, but that's not really saying much.
It's kinda like the whole trope of, you used your own thumb to defeat a man. You know, unbelievable stuff like that. Or defeating a dragon with a spoon. Okay, now I'm just getting really crazy with it, but that's the point. I mean, there are rare instances where he can actually use his chi in order to, you know, cut himself some slack within battle. But besides that, no, he doesn't have any superpowers. He's pretty much your standard guy, you know? Just really trained within martial arts and... yeah. His voice. Okay, I mean, honestly, what could his voice be, you know? Like, I freaking don't know. I don't know. This is kind of pointless, having the whole voice thing being here. I mean, honestly, from this point on, I'm just not going to do that, because I can only voice my character. So, yeah. Although, I can tell you about his voice. It's not as high-pitched as Rontu's. The only reason why Rontu's voice is so high-pitched is because he breathes in oxygen, but then he exhales helium.
Huh? Hey! What are you doing? Wait! That's my knee you're driving off with.
But with Maurice, it's not that case at all. He's pretty much normal as normal can be. So he exhales carbon dioxide, just like any other normal person. On to the next thing. All in all. So all in all, Maurice is a pretty cool character. I mean, he's one of those badasses in the series like Zorro or, I don't know, Deadpool or maybe even Bond. Actually, can we talk about that for a second? Now, if you guys are wondering, back in the past, why I called him Speedy, because he was supposed to be really fast. But I got rid of that whole factor, you know? And I know what you're saying. Was there ever a time when he did have superpowers? And yeah, he had like a sort of healing ability. But let me just spread this across real fast into your brain before you start getting to conclusions. Now, at first, Maurice had a healing factor, so he could be that joking character that could be punched or kicked or killed, and he'd be fine. Because a character with a healing factor in the series is automatically the second best character in the entire series. But now that I've watched the anime 7 Deadly Sins, honestly, go check it out. It is really good. And honestly, I was a One Piece fan going into that. That was really amazing. I'm glad that it didn't borrow too much from One Piece. Like the freaking art design, but that's for a different argument. Oh, and Deadpool. Can't forget about Deadpool. I mean, for both respective series, there was already a character that had a healing factor, and that was sort of a badass in their own series. I mean, the best that I can do would just be to recreate those characters and just splice them into Maurice. And no, I did not want to do that. Like I said before, or wait, I never said this before, or have I? I don't know. I'd rather have my characters be their own person. If they're just a copy of someone else's character, then how the hell is that supposed to make me feel? I mean, you can create your own fan character like, I don't know, something that we've all done, make a Red Sonic. But besides being a Red Sonic, who the heck is he? Like, you can say that he's like some kind of superhero and he saves people from damage and whatnot, but so many other characters do that, so what makes your character so special?
The fact that Deadpool is an off-the-wall character and unlike any other Marvel hero.
This is honestly what made Deadpool who he is today. He's not your standard hero, he's an anti-hero. He can do basically whatever he wants. And the same thing with Bond. And these characters don't really have to suffer any consequence since they have healing factors. But that's the thing, my character has consequences. He can't just heal back from his problems. That doesn't work. So he has to be a little bit more careful, you know? Okay. Okay. Man, I just like freaking blew up right there. It made me feel very unoriginal. So I just changed him to not really having any superpowers and just being really skillful. Because I mean, like, who knows? I mean, like, I could have given him awesome superpowers, like sticking onto walls or just being the one with the weird powers, but I didn't. And so that pretty much makes one of my favorite characters this guy, because he doesn't need superpowers to be awesome. Interesting facts. So interesting facts. I mean, like, there's not really much interesting facts here. I mean, he doesn't wear shoes because, you know, he just can't find the right foot size. He's got big feet, and you have to order it online. It's not a fun task. And the reason why he has a Simpson overbite is not only because that I thought it was freaking amazing, it's because he never really wore braces. That's why his teeth are really messed up compared to the others. Although there can be times where he doesn't have an overbite, but that's just done for comedic effect, people. And yes, his smile is taken straight off of Luffy because the smile is just awesome. Okay, well, third one down, more to go. And I know what you guys are saying, when are you going to get to one of your other characters besides his main three that we've been seeing on your channel forever? Well, just give me time, because, I mean, like, these videos are pretty much 2 weeks of work put into it, and I mean, like, you guys might look at it like, wow! That's only because I got school and football, you know, and, like, I can only do this on the weekends. So, yeah. So, see you guys later. Mr. Polar Jack signing out. Peace.